But then we cut from that to my favorite shot in the movie because it's so jarring and abrupt. They're like having their argument, and Bethany's filming it with her camera, and then we hard cut to a shot of Scott Shaw filming himself in the car with the camera pointing like up in his face. He looks like every boomer dad on Twitter's profile.
Yes.
All right.
He's got here in my truck with his goatee and his sunglasses.
He's at this point where his goatee just looks like it pops right off.
Yes, it looks like a Lego goatee, like put on a different one. It's incredible. Hello and welcome back to the 164th episode. Good, bad, or bad. I didn't change my shirt. Fuck.
I didn't change mine either.
Whatever, we're doing it.
We'll do it live.
We're doing it now. You know how it works. We've done this several
times. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, we definitely film these different times because we changed clothes normally. Yep. Okay. Anyways, welcome back to the 164th episode of Good Bad Media Show. Several movies tell you. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Schultz. Joined as always by the other co-host, Mr. Kyle and Kyle.
Hi.
Today we're talking about the return of a GBorBB All-Star.
A legend.
A legend of the industry.
So, much like Nicolas Cage making a new form of acting called, what do you call it, Nevu Shamanics?
I've missed that.
Boy. Yeah, he calls it, his style of acting, he calls it a new style.
You've developed an acting discipline that you've referred to as nouveau shamanic. Is that correct?
Yeah. So what I would do is I'd put on Afro-Caribbean paint, like a white and black paint, and black out my eyes so I look like this sort of Afro-Caribbean voodoo icon. And then I would sew in bits of Egyptian artifacts that were thousands of years old into my costume.
It's art! This is a new style of filmmaking developed by one Scott Shaw.
Zen filmmaking, baby. So Scott Shaw is a filmmaker, stuntman, kung fu master extraordinaire, and amazing actor. And he starred in dozens upon dozens of movies of his own creation. Let's just real quick, before we get into the movie, the movie is
Hang on. I got one more thing to add. He has the hair of a god.
Hair of a god. Always nice ponytail.
That shit is flowing.
Gets it clipped back. Gorgeous. Him and his buddy who directed this film, Donald G. Jackson, created this thing. And we'll let them explain it, but we'll kind of talk about it. They created this thing called Zen filmmaking. And now we talked a little bit about it in the Vine Enforcer review, but what Zen filmmaking is where you shoot a movie without a script or any idea of what you're going to do.
Don and I, we work well together because we do a filmmaking style called Zen filmmaking, which means we don't use scripts.
And that's akin to guerrilla filmmaking, which I'm very familiar with.
It's much more spiritually based than guerrilla filmmaking. We don't use scripts.
That's right. The return of Scott Shaw, who's I believe like our 6th episode.
Something like that. Rollerblade
something
7.
In the first 20, I think.
Yeah.
And then we back up, and we do it again, and then we do it again, and then we do it again. Over. This movie is fucking insanity.
Brian, do you need to get into like a Sam Adams or something?
It's too early. What time is it? It's too early. It's only 3 o'clock. It fucking... Oh my god. Like, this movie drove me insane.
You don't say.
Somebody reached out, I believe Steve on Patreon reached out and was like, hey, did you know Steve Shaw updated, or Scott Shaw uploaded all of his movies to his YouTube channel?
Oh, boy.
And I was like, wait, what? And then I spent like an hour going through, no, this one's terrible, boring. This one's terrible and boring. Like, I went through quite a few of them before I landed on one that I watched a few minutes
Oh, I can tell why this one had your eye, Brian. I can tell.
How dare you? insinuate anything untoward.
This is one step removed from basically just pornography.
Feelings like sun-baked thighs on a hot sand. Like marble in oil.
I mean, it's a couple steps removed from
Okay,
pornography.
true. It is a couple steps removed.
It's, yeah.
There's clearly these poor women. That's all I will say.
Yeah. So this film is called Witch's Brew. It says 2007 copyright, which just felt like it was older than right?
It feels like it's past the 2000 mark, but like early 2000.
I was going to say like 2003 or like 2002 or something. And I'm wondering if, because it said 2007, I'm wondering if he didn't like copyright a bunch of his films like all at the same time, like when he published.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like, and they were filmed earlier than that. I don't know, because 2007 again just felt a little bit late, but who knows?
You know, if anybody believes that there is a sex-crazed vampire witch out there who can turn them into a sex maniac, needs medical assistance.
Written and directed by Scott Shaw and Donald G. Jackson, who is also involved in a lot of his...
Isn't he in this film too? I think he plays the guy who's warning them about the witch.
Oh, it could be.
I think it's Donald Jackson.
That guy, that would make sense because that guy, yeah. I don't know what Donald G. Jackson looks like. His his IMDb page does not have a picture of him. I don't think, or maybe it does, and I just didn't pay attention. But
there's no credits for any of this. Literally, the only credits are written and directed by Scott Shaw.
He's
and
the only one that matters, Kyle.
Yeah, and produced by Donald G. Jackson.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
There's no acting credits or anything.
Yeah. And we have this is our triumphant return to Zen filmmaking, which if you don't recall, Zen filmmaking is fucking pretentious bullshit for, I fucking made it up. Made it up on the day, motherfucker. We made it up. Source, I made it up.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
And that's just what Scott Shaw calls his style of filmmaking, where they just kind of like bounce from location to location and just, again, there's not a script. They just sort of wing it. They just sort of say whatever and
go in. Here's your character. Here's the idea of
here's
what
like
the
a rough
scene is,
outline of what we need to get done.
Things.
Just improv your way through it.
I'm not going to start this.
I wouldn't count on that. She told me last night she had an enchilada over at Julio's. I wouldn't be counting her back here real soon.
No, Jake, really.
You know,
don't.
No, don't. There's always an excuse. I mean, there's always some reason. Because I wouldn't be counting her back here real soon.
Like a fucking Judd Apatow movie, except with not talented improv people. It's fucking wild. But I love this film opens. And I say film, this movie is only an hour long, so it is a film in the loosest sense of the term.
Hey, my film's like an hour long.
Good coffees. Diabetes-driven antics aside, how do you plan on winning Emma back this time? Because I don't think your grandmother can die again.
Yours is more of a film than this is. Absolutely. Yours is over an hour, isn't it?
It's 67 minutes.
This one's 59, so you crushed it. You broke the hour mark. But this one opens, it says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fade in. I was like, fuck you.
That's what we're in for.
Fuck you. So we open on a first person. So this is a mockumentary, kind of.
It's like Blair Witch.
It is. What that's
what they're doing.
That's what they're riffing here is Blair Witch. And we open on a guy with a camera breaking into an apartment. We don't know like anything, but I love he can't. The door's locked, so he pulls out a credit card
and just like rubs it
on the door frame, and then just puts it away, and then opens the door. Which now, again, I could be wrong, but if you're going to do the card jimmying thing, my understanding of doing that is that you have to put the card in and open the door while that's in there because it's holding the bolt.
No, not even that. So I get for a deadbolt, it obviously doesn't work.
Yeah.
But for
like a normal,
yeah, for a normal one, all the card's doing is lifting up that curved ridge.
Yeah.
And once it gets past the door, it just opens. It never turns.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And what you do is you're trying to wiggle the door and wiggle your card as you're pushing it at the same time. There you go.
So, but he puts it in there, then he puts it away, then turns the
It's
doorknob,
so
and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's not how that works.
That's not what that is. The fuck are you doing?
Anyways, this creep.
this actor. Oh, Kyle, this actor.
Here's the thing. Do you think this was Scott Shaw doing this guy a favor, or did this guy call in a favor?
I think this is a buddy of Scott Shaw.
Clearly.
Who like Scott Shaw was like, hey man, you want to come be in my movie? I need somebody else. I'm going to play this really fun character that we'll get to later.
Hello. My name is Professor Andre Duvernay.
But I need somebody to be the male lead with these two hot ladies. And you're just going to be a perv the whole movie. That's your character, is you're a perv. That's it.
God.
Incredible.
Are you flirting with me? No, Jill wouldn't like that way too much. And besides, I thought you said you sworn off being a sex hound.
Jake, what are you doing?
Come on, it's part of the documentary. Relax. Lift up your things a little bit. I want to see your asses.
He needs help.
But he breaks into his apartment, and then he like walks through. Did you notice there's like, this must be Scott Shaw's apartment.
There's nothing in there. It's
nothing but videotapes.
And they're blank, just blank videotapes and stuff.
It's like clearly like stuff he shot. Yeah. It there's just everywhere. And then, but other than that, there's nothing in the apartment. But he comes across this woman laying in bed, and
completely in the nude.
Yeah, pulls the blanket off her, and is like rubbing his hand above her, and then he just smacks her on the ass, and she gets up and she's like, "Hey, Jack or Jake or whatever this guy's name is."
What the hell, Jack? Asshole.
She's very mad at him.
What rating would this have gotten through the MPAA?
Well, other than there's one moment where you can absolutely see her vagina, which would make this, I think, rated at least R, if not X.
NC-17?
Yeah, because I don't believe you're allowed to see actual the anatomy going on down there usually. If it was just the butt, I think you could get away with like a PG-13, but that's not all you can see. That's all you can see because this is YouTube. So, although it's on his YouTube channel,
yeah, there we
fine,
go.
So I don't know how, but I don't think we'd be able to monetize it.
Let's just say you had a shitty lock, okay?
God, turn that thing off, you idiot. Isn't it early in the morning?
No, I'm not going to turn it off. I said that we were going to document the making of this documentary, and that's what we're going to do.
So then the guy, after he slaps her, he's like, I said we were going to document the making of this documentary, and that's what we're going to do. So
this meta-ass shit going on.
They're documenting the documentary that they are making, which, again, is basically the Blair Witch Project. And I love, this is when the opening title cards come in right after this, and the score kicks in after he says that, and it's so bad. And then the first title, or the first credit, is for DJ Acid X. Who did the soundtrack, and it's just the worst like garage techno you've ever heard. It's so bad. It's so bad. So meanwhile, we cut back and forth from our main characters here to Scott Shaw.
Just driving.
Yes. 90% of this movie that he's in, he's just driving or walking around random places. We are watching his vacation footage, Kyle. He went on a trip, recorded himself walking around places, and it was like, this will be in my movie.
But you gotta think about it this way. It takes the cost that it takes to make this movie and drops it significantly. This movie costs like $25.
If that. There's nothing in it that it could cost the camera. There's nothing in this movie that would cost any money. It's insane. So again, he's walking around some tiny California town that's I don't know what
Harmony.
or
It's like population of 18.
Yeah. But he's there and then he's gone or whatever, and then we come back to our main characters, and now Bethany is the name of the woman, and she has the camera and she's filming Jake, who's the guy who smacked her ass, and boy, that guy looks exactly how you think that guy would look.
Meet Jake Pentelli, producer, cameraman, director, and resident bonehead.
There's a part later where he starts trying to sound like he's from New York.
Yes.
Like very East Coast.
You know, it's a fucking documentary. Guy lives out here for years. It doesn't matter.
But throughout all this, I don't even know how to describe this character aside from just a scummy guy.
Just a scumbag.
Yes.
He's got frosted tips.
Yes.
And he looks.
He's a go-to removed from being scummy guyfery.
He looks like a cameraman for Girls Gone Wild. Like if
yes,
you
that's 100% right.
What he looks like, he should be working on. I think he may have been. He may have been one of the people working on Girls Gone Wild because he just looks. That's what he is. That's what he looks like, and he behaves that way too. So it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe that you could go in my shower like that. That's so mean.
Look. The camera's off now. Relax. It was a goof.
So she goes into the bathroom to get dressed.
Girls Gone Wild's too removed from people to know.
Yeah, I don't know if people know what that is.
Gen Zers.
Because if you're younger than us, you won't. That was a late night thing when we were watching
Comedy Central. Yep, 3 a.m.
Bum, bum, bum.
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children. Join us and...
But anyway, so she goes into the bathroom to get dressed, and he's just like creeping through the door, zooming in on her boobs while she's getting dressed. And they're arguing about the name of the documentary. Because he's like, I want it to be called Fear and Desire or something like that. And she's like, there's already a movie called Fear and Desire.
But Fear and Desire, that's a better title for this thing, you know?
It's been used already.
By who?
Kirby, he used it in his first feature.
And he's like, well, I think Witches something is a stupid... I don't know. It doesn't matter. I guess ultimately it was called Witches Brew, but that is not what they ended up landing on in this scene.
Witch Hunt sounds too much like a TV game show.
And then I love she gets on him. She's like, I thought you said you'd sworn off being a sex hound. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be fine.
I'm reformed.
I'm reformed.
Besides, I thought you said you sworn off being a sex hound.
First of all, I'll edit all of that out in the master, but we've come to an understanding. No, I'm not flirting with you.
And then the conversation ends, and he zooms in even more through the door, clearly trying to find her boobs or something, but can't. So he just zooms in on a speed stick. It's like sitting on the counter or whatever. It's amazing. It's incredible. Then we cut to an interview, which is the most insane interview.
This is the only woman who has been in multiple Scott Shaw films.
You know, you'd never know it to look at me. That I was a nun for 14 years.
Oh, is she?
Dee Baker.
Is that it? No, I thought Dee Baker was the woman, the one who we were just talking about, introduced to. Was it not?
No, I don't think so. I think it's the older woman that they're talking about.
Okay, well, either way. But anyways.
I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
Yeah. So she's being interviewed by some other people. I don't know.
No.
This is our crew.
Yeah, but this is the other girl,
Jill, or whatever. Yeah, she's being interviewed, which we haven't even been introduced to Jill yet, but we cut ahead anyway. So they're interviewing this woman about her encounter with the Ashford Witch.
Could you tell us what the witch looked like?
And she starts this interview by saying that she was a nun for 14 years.
Yes.
You know, you'd never know it to look at me. That I was a nun for 14 years.
And that when she saw the witch for the first time, she was so revved up that she went and seduced the first guy she met on the way home and fucked his brains out.
You know, after I saw the Ashtown Witch, I was so revved up, I seduced the first guy I met on the road back.
And then as she's giving this interview, she's like rubbing her foot on the camera.
On the camera guy, like rubbing it closer.
And he's like, Yep, and he's a big perv, so he's into it. It's incredible. So we find out it is now establishing that the Ashford Witch, what it does, the witch does, is make people insanely horny to the point where for the rest of their lives, like she's still like insatiably horny.
When she touched me, I started burning. I almost died from
what?
Wanting.
Which I think is very funny. And like she has a pool boy who just comes over and starts fanning her. I was like, what is it? Who is this? What is happening? Then we cut to another interview with this other woman, and I love she is just in somebody's living room, just sitting on a couch.
She was given a script for like 10 minutes and then asked to recite it.
Yes, because that was my note, is that she is trying her damnedest to remember what she's supposed to say, and you can see it on her face as she's like, and then I saw the Ashford Witch.
No one lives out there. The woods are deserted for miles. She wasn't hitchhiking.
But she also remembers every now and then she's supposed to seductively look at like the cameraman. So she's doing this like side-eye fucking of the camera guy, but also trying to remember her lines, and it's so awkward and painful.
How do you know? Because it seems like she was gliding across the ground and her feet weren't even touching the floor. So if she could fly, why was she hitchhiking?
It's incredible. It's incredible. Oh, God.
You're absolutely sure that it was the Ashtown Witch?
Well, who else could it be?
Then they cut and they're going to pick up Jill to go on their adventure into the woods. And they're driving over there, and they get there, and she's in the shower, Jake realizes.
Hang on a minute.
What?
I think she's taking a shower. I got an idea.
So he goes into the back door.
Yes, the first, there's multiple things.
So
here.
many things.
One is that he does the exact same card trick.
Yeah.
Two,
this one, he literally just like, he may as well just like, it's like if you had a key and a lock and you just like rubbed it on it and then opened it.
It's just a continuation of him being a scumbag. And B, why does this back side door open into a bathroom?
That's the most insane thing I've ever seen, Kyle. I was like, what is happening? He opens an outside door and then it opens and she is there showering naked. I'm like, that is insane. Oh my God, that's so weird. Clearly what that was is, I think what that has to be is that was some sort of like mud room or something that they converted into a bathroom.
It had to.
No bathroom has an outward.
It had to. That's so insane.
Exiting door has an egress door. It's insane.
Come on, it's part of the documentary. Relax.
Shut it off now!
Right. God.
But she's very upset that he filmed her in the shower.
It's got to be like the most safety approved bathroom on the planet that you can just exit the place immediately.
Yeah, if there's a fire or something, she just slips right out the door. She's gone. Or an earthquake. They are in California. But she's very upset that Jake filmed her in the shower and that he's not taking this project seriously. And I also love this scene. She's just pacing back and forth, again, just desperately trying to remember her lines and what she's supposed to say. Because again, this scene you can tell is... Scott Shaw gave each of Jake and Jill, he gave each of them like
an idea.
And like three things. Okay, first you got to argue about the shower thing, then you got to argue about the movie, then you got to get to a point where you're going to leave and go film or what, you know what I mean? And so you got to like but like drag it out.
Look.
For years, people
Fine.
that's you said you like that's on video.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a compliment. Right? Cut.
And by the way, the guy is, you can tell the guy was given no direction on his relationship with either one of these two women, because he refers to both of them as baby and darling. That cat.
Grindelwald!
When we start shooting this thing for real, it's nothing but serious. I promise.
For years, people have been saying that they've seen something out there in the Ashtown woods. You said that this is going to make us big in the film festival.
She's just pacing and she's just trying to remember the vague shape of the conversation that she's supposed to be having, and it's very funny to me.
And now, you know,
it's good.
Think of something sensational. Come up with something great to put us on the map.
All right. Fine. God, look, honey, baby,
But then we cut from that to my favorite shot in the movie because it's so jarring and abrupt. They're like having their argument, and Bethany's filming it with her camera, and then we hard cut to a shot of Scott Shaw filming himself in the car with the camera pointing like up in his face. He looks like every boomer dad on Twitter's profile.
Yes.
All right.
He's got here in my truck with his goatee and his sunglasses.
He's at this point where his goatee just looks like it pops right off.
Yes, it looks like a Lego goatee. Like, put on a different one. It's incredible. And then this is where we just keep cutting back and forth to him driving for like a while. He's just like driving, and then we cut back, and they're now in the woods heading off on their adventure to find the Ashton Witch. And we get the same scene twice in a row. They're walking into the woods, and he goes, "Hey, lift up your thing and show me your butts."
We need to get going and quit wasting film.
Lift up your things a little bit. I want to see your asses.
And they're like, ha ha ha, stop wasting film, ha ha, weirdo. And then it cuts, and we're in a different part of the woods, and they walk up to him, and they're like, stop wasting film. And then he's like, lift up your thing, I want to see your butts. I'm like, what is...
Wasting tape.
Wait, slow down. Lift up your, Jill, lift up your back a little bit. I want to see your asses.
No, I'm not doing that.
Kyle, what is happening?
I'll tell you what's happening. This guy is desperately trying to get a threesome going.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Obviously, that is the whole point of this whole thing. There probably is no Ashton Witch, except we find out that there is. Maybe, I don't know, who fucking knows. There's not an Ashton Witch. There's something that Scott Shaw filmed for a different fucking movie that he just edited into this movie at the end of the... We'll get to it. Well, and it's also hilarious. So this thing where they do the exact same scene twice in a row, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, clearly what happened is they filmed that one, and then they're like, maybe we didn't like that. Let's film it again in a different spot
would
or
you
whatever.
have rather had the other version of Scott Shaw's editing where they just do the same action over and over?
Show the same like knife flip 8 times in a row or whatever, yeah.
The promise of life, the promise torn.
And then we back up, and we do it again, and then we do it again, and then we do it again. Over. This movie is fucking insanity. No, but clearly, like, they filmed 2 versions of this scene because maybe they didn't like the first one or something. But then they just put both of them in the movie, and it's like, well, just use one.
They had to reach an hour.
I guess that is honestly what's going on here. It's ridiculous.
It's my film. It's our film, all right?
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah,
my film.
Ours, remember that?
Yeah, we're out here too, you know.
Then he cuts, and now he's filming like 3 inches from her butt, just like following her. It's straight up like serial killer. He like whispers to the camera as they're walking away, God, they look good. I'm like, oh, he's gonna murder them. This is gonna end with him murdering them. And we don't know that it didn't, honestly, because we don't know how it all wrapped up.
God, they look good.
Don't ever do that again.
Meanwhile, Scott Shaw still fucking driving, baby.
Yep.
Cruising down the highway, eating tuna out of a can.
Apparently making his way to San Francisco.
Yes.
They do his vacation video. Like...
Walking around Chinatown.
All this is him taking a vacation to San Francisco and being like, here, let me turn this into a film.
Yep. And I love during the Chinatown stuff, he's walking around and all the people are just staring into the camera because they're like, what?
You don't have a license for this. But you don't have a permit.
They just like, oh, there's a person with a camera, so they're just all looking at it, but Scott Shaw just uses all of it. Meanwhile, Jake films the women peeing because he's a creep, of course. Doesn't even matter. Then we get this incredible argument where Bethany is using the restroom and Jill and Jake are talking, and he's talking about how they don't have sex or whatever, and he's like, how long has it even been since we necked? And I'm like, necked? What year is it? How old are you? It's like, necked? What is happening?
Jesus.
Call it sexual frustration that I'm going through, okay? How long has it been since we've even necked?
And he's just sitting there pressuring her into sex. And also, he talks, I don't know how old he's supposed to be. He's the guy, actor
like
looks
40.
like he's like 40, but he talks like a 17-year-old.
Yes.
He's like, come on, babe. I'm just so, I miss you. I want to touch your boobs, babe. It's like, what is that? It's so funny.
God. Maybe you're right. It's been 2 months that we've been dating. Maybe we should really take it slow, huh?
It's just every time that's all you think about. When are we gonna go farther?
That's not all I think about. Sometimes I think about if you really love me or not.
Then they make camp for the night and they're discussing, and he's like, oh yeah, they're like, so how are we gonna find the witch? And he's like, I think we just walk, because I don't have a map.
Yeah.
Or a compass.
Yeah, and they
or
keep
anything.
the scene. They keep reiterating. Well, you didn't think about bringing a map or a compass?
Yeah.
No. So you're telling me you don't have a map?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a map.
This is one of
How
the
many
scenes.
times I got to tell you?
This is one of the scenes where Stephen Shaw's in behind the camera, like stretch.
Well, what about a map? What about the map?
I don't have a map.
You have to have a map. You have to be able to know where you're at, okay?
I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where we're going. I have no clue on any of this.
And they're like, so you didn't come on, dummy. Why didn't you bring a map? He's like, well, I didn't think we need a map.
So you're telling me you don't have a map?
Do I need to repeat it again?
And I love, they literally break in this scene. He says, I thought we'd just keep walking. And after he says, I thought we'd just keep walking, they all like laugh because this is so stupid, and they're all aware this is so stupid. They're all like, oh my God. But then they just keep going. Yeah, they just keep going. It's like, all right, great.
The thing is I thought we'd just keep walking until we found some evidence of a witch or something.
So then this is where we technically go to Chinatown. Doesn't matter. It's straight up just random shots of him walking around Chinatown. Well, we will find out that he was there to visit a psychic.
Yes.
Eventually.
They keep running across things in the woods, like a platform, a really shitty tree fort with a swing attached to it.
Swing.
Look at this. Look at this.
Man, that looks like someone was just here.
It's literally just a swing. And they're like, it's so creepy. I'm like, bro, that's just a swing.
And it's been there forever, like 200 years.
It's just a swing, man.
They also go up and find they keep going and find like what they call a dam. That's just a retaining wall.
It's a retaining wall. It's a retaining wall. They're like, it's the dam. It's a dam. It's just a retaining wall. Before we get to because this is where Donald G. Jackson comes out and warns them, which is great. But I had to go back. We talk about this one scene where they wake up the morning after. It's their first morning in the woods, and they're having a conversation. It's the most insane conversation ever because they're like, Bethany's like, well, I'm sorry I came in on you guys last night, and they're like, it's fine, nothing was happening, and Jake's like, yeah, I mean, let me tell you, nothing was happening.
You didn't shoot on anything.
You didn't miss a damn thing. Don't worry
I didn't
about it.
down anything.
Nothing at all. Trust
We were just kissing and snuggling. That's all.
Believe me, that's all.
Oh, my fucking! I'm so horny. Like, yeah. And then, Jill is like, although after Jake passed out, and Jake goes, whoa, I passed out.
After Jake passed out.
Whoa! Stop right there. I passed out. Keep going.
And she's like, yeah. And he's like, all right, continue. I'm like, wait, what was that? What? And then she's like. She basically says she had a sex dream about Bethany.
You and I, we were... Oh boy. Don't you think dreams are a little bit too silly?
And Jake's like, nice. Nice. And it's just awkward.
My plan is working.
It's just awkward and doesn't go anywhere.
But it seemed so real. It was so vivid. It was amazing.
I swear to God, I didn't lay a hand on you.
And then he tries to hug Bethany, and she's like, get the fuck off me, you creep. And then the scene ends.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Ah, gross! Get off me! Get away, you pervert!
You think she means no?
I think so.
So they're at this retaining wall, which again, they keep calling a dam, and this guy crawls out from behind a rock like a cave troll.
And we check out what's behind it. Hey, you do that again, you're gonna lose that right arm.
And is like, you can't pass the wall.
You shall not pass. The dam that they say the dam is the barrier between the
reality and unreality.
Reality and unreality.
Oh, you don't want to cross this dam, this line. This is the line between reality and unreality, between truth and lies.
But I love, he's like, this is the place you don't go beyond, and I'm here to guard it. And it's just some dude.
This is the place you don't go beyond, and I'm here to guard it.
Guard it?
In jeans and a t-shirt, or a fucking flannel shirt. But he says he's been living out there for 5 years, protecting people from going and crossing the barrier or whatever. But he does not look like a guy who's been living in the woods for 5 years. He looks
he
fine.
even like asked them to give tribute. Of
He's like, you got any? You got tribute for the witch? Like maybe some beer or like some power bars.
The only way you can get through here without getting into trouble, believe me, is you must leave sacrifice.
What do you leave?
And you have power bars?
How do you know she even takes them?
Or like a cheeseburger or something. The witch really likes cheeseburgers.
That's okay.
I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble.
Then you better back off immediately.
I'm telling you, it's your life. Taking it in your own hands. If you pass through this.
Then they find the tree swing because they do cross over the thing. They find the tree swing and the tree fort. And I love they keep saying, this took a lot of work.
Look what they did to like build this thing. Look at it. I mean, who would want to build this?
This took a lot of work.
And I'm like, no,
it didn't.
Rope tied to a tree.
The tree fort is like just pieces of shitty plywood hammered in.
Just hammered into a tree. It took like an afternoon. Like one person with a hammer and some nails in an afternoon. It's so funny.
This took a lot of work.
And then we have the same scene twice in a row where they talk about the swing again in a different way.
It was just here.
Who do you think put this up here? Look what they did to like build this thing. Look at it. Look how high up it goes. I mean, who would want to build this?
Somebody went through a lot of trouble. This took a lot of work.
Yeah, but why? For what?
Then they're walking, and I love the fucking Jake with the camera is like, you guys still look good from the back.
You guys still look good from the back.
And it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
We're padding out our film is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. But I also 100% that actor was like, so my motivation is my character is a creep. He's a weirdo. Like, I have to say and do sleazy things because the character is a creep, guys. Not me. The character, Kyle, the character I'm playing is a skeevy sex perv.
Okay, Gary.
I'm in the character.
Scott, is that right? Oh yeah. No, it's
this character, Kyle. I'm deep in method, being a creepy sex perv.
Have you tried acting, my boy?
Jake, you have lost your mind. You can be so naive sometimes.
All right, whatever. Tag team me again.
Then they find the cave. And they're like climbing some rocks. And the camera's looking at them climbing rocks. And then Bethany like just tilts the camera up and it's like, oh, look, the cave.
Hey, you guys, that's too high up there. Oh my. It's the cave.
Well, what were they climbing? I thought they were climbing to the cave.
Yeah, not only that, like the guy looks back and goes, oh, I guess we should go up there.
You remember that cave that old man was talking about where the witch lives? It's right up there.
Oh, cool. Cool, then we can go up and see what the thing is really like, huh?
What were you doing? That's what you were doing. It doesn't make any sense.
They're done, though.
They're done. They disappear. They're never in the film again.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to walk around, all right?
Okay.
This is the last shot of them in the film, by the way.
The rest of this, and for as crazy as the direction and stuff is and everything, Scott Shaw is not a bad presenter.
He could do this. He could do the like walking through the woods doing a nature documentary presentation.
Like if he did an entire documentary on like cryptozoology, I would watch that.
Hello.
My name is Professor Andre Duvernay.
No, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. But right before we get to Scott Shaw, right after the last shot of them trying to climb into the cave, we get a random flash of a woman with her face painted half white and half black, like the racism metaphor species from Star Trek, the original series.
It's so dumb.
It's incredible. Ugh. We get one flash of her. We will see more of her later. Then Scott Shaw shows up and introduces himself. He's shooting a documentary. He is Professor Andre Duvernay. He's an anthropologist who specializes in paranormal phenomenon, and then he lists off a bunch of stuff. Yeah, he's like, he says a bunch of stuff. He's like,
my background is I'm an anthropologist who specializes in paranormal phenomena, i.e., witches, goblins, demons, chupacabra.
So he went to a psychic. He's trying to find his student. One of the girls or whatever was one of his students or whatever, and she sent them a message saying they were going to find the witch. So he came to try to find them because they disappeared. And so he went to a psychic who told him that he would find them here or something like that.
Once I got that letter, I immediately traveled into the city and I spoke with my psychic. My psychic told me that there would be a very good chance that I may encounter this phenomenon known as the Ashton Witch.
And then he's describing the little detail in this that I love is he's describing what he thinks the witch looks like. He goes, some say the witch is like long white robes or whatever, but I believe that the witch has her face painted half black and half white like a yin-yang.
My belief from my studies is that she's more like a mime. You know how mimes are. Silent, but deadly. I believe that she's painted like a yin and yang symbol, half white, half black.
That's so funny. And then at the end he goes, come along, let's go, crew.
So I brought my crew along. Okay, let's cut that and let's move on.
And he keeps saying like, come on, crew, cut, let's move along, crew. And it's so clearly him and Donald G. Jackson with the camera. And that is 100%. There's no other crew there at all. It's incredible. It's just one guy holding a camera.
Come along, let's go, crew.
The rest of the movie is literally just watching Scott Shaw walk around in the woods.
And he's always
trash.
like, oh, this is the natural beauty of Southern California. Nature provides. There's a lot of natural resources for eat stuff and stuff like that.
When the evening comes on, there's plenty of places to sleep upon the grass. There's plenty of food to eat. You don't have to kill animals. All you have to do is eat all this nutritious vegetation.
This is a riverbed that's now dried up, and that's a really bad sign for this area.
Yeah, they need water, and if they don't have water, they will perish, surely.
The problem I'm seeing here is that this river is normally full of water. But now here I am, I'm standing in a dry riverbed. Now that concerns me.
He finds some clothes. Again, they just walked around until he found trash, and then they recorded him talking about it.
Here's some Campbell's chunky, clam chowder.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like we found another one of their provisions. It looks like they had some chunky New England clam chowder for dinner. I don't know how they can eat that stuff.
And he's like, who would ever eat that? It's like, well, all right, burn on clam chowder, I guess. But he finds some random clothes under the leaves, and he's like, look, they're clothes. They have been cast off. He goes, I'm worried about what may have happened to them because the witch is known to be a very sexual witch.
It's some torn off clothing, which obviously concerns me. She is known to be a very sexual witch. Very, very sexual witch.
He says a very sexual witch. Very, very sexual witch. I was like, all right. We're just watching your fucking fetish movie, man. Come on.
Yes, which makes sense from all the stuff from the beginning.
Yeah, but he says, if people are a virgin, she just torments them for eternity. If they are an experienced partner, she may have her way with them.
If they are an experienced sexual partner, then she may have her way with them, male or female, and then move along to her next victim.
It's like, what is happening?
I'm hoping that my favorite line of his is like, I'm hoping my years of healthy living and celibacy will aid me in this endeavor.
I am just hoping that my years of meditation, of vegetarianism, of celibacy will have worked to my advantage.
He just said that they will torment them for eternity. So, yeah. Oh, good. Then we get a random scene of him talking about his gun.
Yeah. Old Betsy here.
Like, you never know.
Protector.
You never know what you're going to run into in the woods. That's why I never leave home without old Betsy.
You never know the kind of people you're going to run into or the kind of demons you may run into. That's why I never leave home without old Betsy right here. My good, trusted little friend, Betsy.
I mean, which for California is true. Fucking mountain lions.
Yeah. But he pulls his gun out, and he pulls the magazine out, and I don't know if it's real or it's just a fairly good prop
Knowing
gun.
Scott Shaw, it probably is.
Probably real, yeah. Then they stumble across a random beer can.
He did have proper trigger discipline, though. Thank God. Yeah. I'll give him this. The guy knows how to handle a firearm.
Well, at least to some extent, yeah.
I'm assuming she's shot this on the range before. Because there's so many movies we see where somebody pulls out a gun for a demonstration, even within the context of the film.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, finger on the trigger. It's like, oh, God,
yeah.
Please.
So he finds a random beer can, and he just like talks about the beer can. He's like, this is a St. Pauli's Girl beer. That is my favorite beer.
I mean, they're drinking St. Pauli Girl, which is my favorite beer, but that's not the way the Ashton Witch chooses to be worshipped.
But it is not the kind of offering that the witch likes, so I'm worried that she won't be happier. I was like, this is the stupidest.
He then went and got that beer after they were done shooting?
No, I think he left it there. Like, he brought it and drank it and just left it there.
So I don't know. What happened to those people that were drinking that beer? It's not a good sign.
This whole thing is so awkward and weird at the end. Then he finally gets to the swing, and he's like, look, the Ashton Witch swing.
It has been destroyed.
Here we are at one of the most memorable and the most noted symbols to the Ashton Witch, the Ashton Witch swing. Now, the problem is, this swing has been pulled down.
Clearly, the spirits have been angered by this.
I filmed since we filmed the part with the other actors a month ago, somebody came through and fucking sat on it who was a little too large, and it broke. It's so
no.
It's been broken. And that is a very, very bad sign.
And because he says at the end, he's like, with this swing down, all bets are off. It's like, what? Because he says, like, the witch swings on the swing at night, and with the swing broken, who knows what she's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
With this swing down, it means that all bets are off. It means that anything could be happening. I'm concerned.
This whole ending is the dumbest fucking shit. It's so stupid.
Here is the what do you say? The dam. What is it called? The witch?
The Ashton Witch.
The Ashton Dam.
Yes.
Has a hole blown clear through it.
All right. Yeah, now I'm very concerned. As you can see, we're at the Ashton Dam. And as you can see, there's been a hole split wide open in the Ashton Dam.
Nothing can hold back the raging torrents of nothing. Like so
he does the Team Fortress 2 meme though before Team Fortress 2. Okay, so I was like, where do I know this from?
Oh yes, the heavy
yes,
quote.
He says,
I fear no man,
yeah,
but this
scares me.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
He goes, I'm not scared of any man. I'm not scared of any animal, but this scares me.
I'm not scared of any man. I'm not scared of any animal. But this scares me.
And I was like, that's the meme! He did the meme like 5 years before the meme! What the hell? Did they steal that from Scott Shaw?
Scott Shaw was ahead of his time.
Was he writing for Team Fortress 2? What was going on? Oh, shit.
But this scares me.
So then he gets to the cave and he hopes that the witch will let him enter her cave.
So hopefully I will be pure enough and the Ashton Witch will allow me to enter the realms of her cave. Her cave. right up there.
And then he's like, I'm going to go up to the cave. And then it fades. And then we just watch a topless woman swing a katana for 10 minutes.
Which is this is the most Scott Shaw thing in this entire film.
Yes. Topless woman with a katana doing nonsense.
I think there were two. Because
one of them's topless and one of them's not. Yeah, one of them's wearing clothes.
They have different.
They have slightly different. Face.
One of them is quartered, and the other is just
halves. Yeah, and one of them is clothed, doing stupid stuff with a sword, and the other one is topless.
Maybe we can get you topless in this. No.
I will not.
Well, she is the only one who came out of the woods. I guess we can.
Yeah, she's just like doing Tai Chi. Like, I don't know what she's doing. The clothed one is just, it's so fucking weird. And also, clearly, this is the thing I was talking about. This stuff was clearly filmed for something else. Because this makes no sense with the rest of the story. Why would the witch just be a random woman dressed with a sword? Like, what? That doesn't... And then also, Scott Shaw doesn't interact at all. Like, clearly this was filmed at a different time, and he just throws it in here. It makes no sense. She squats a lot with a sword. It's all just garbage. Then Scott Shaw is now back from the cave, and he's like...
Well, I seem to have survived my ordeal.
That was an experience. Can't tell you what happened.
Yeah, I can't tell you what
fuck
happened.
Yourself.
Okay, well, I've just come down out of the cave, and yeah, that was an experience.
Yep.
Then he does the fake. He does the joke that is the funniest joke because it was in every spoof movie for 30 goddamn years after.
I am so scared.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm fine. Oh, fuck you.
I am so scared. No, just joking. Hey, you dude, quit smoking the bud over there and go get some sleep.
But he literally says, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything that happened because I'm out of time for filming this and I don't want to make anything up, so I'm just going to... You got to fucking... Whatever you think happened, that's what happens.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to tell you what happened in the cave. Nor am I going to be able to tell you what happened to those 3 students.
Then he has the most insane closing lines ever, where he's like, what is known is known by the known.
As is known to all secret societies. What is known by the known.
This reminded me so much of the I can't remember what it was
the Bush
about.
quote, right?
Yeah, it was.
Or no,
we have
Rumsfeld, I think. Yeah,
we have known knowns and unknown unknowns,
and we have unknown unknowns. Yeah.
As we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns.
I think that's what
things that we don't know that we don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what he's riffing on. Like, I think that's what he's referencing. But he says unknown, known. He says unknown, and the unknown, known, unknown. And I'm like, what is this?
What is this?
And what is unknown is what is unknown to the unknown.
And then at the end, his final line, I wish you all the best in your quest for knowledge. And then he turns and walks away and fades out, kind of.
But I wish you all the best in your quest for knowledge.
And then it says fade out on screen.
Yes, yep.
And then it says, instead of, my favorite thing, instead of the end, all of his films say the Zen. Which is the stupidest.
God.
That's just stupid. This movie's...
But yeah, that's it. There's like no acting credits, no like location or anything. No credits whatsoever.
No, not at all. And no resolution. The movie just ends.
It just ends.
After he does a crazy, insane improv speech about unknowing knowns and quest for knowledge or whatever. This movie's bad.
It's bad, yeah.
I will say it's only an hour. But it's bad,
but like, it just doesn't have any cohesive idea.
There's nothing going, which is a problem with Scott Shaw films because, and that's the thing. This was the most cohesive one I could find. I watched I didn't watch them, but I clicked through like 5 or 6 other ones, and they were truly nothing.
The most you can say with Rollerblade 7 is, despite it being absolute madness, it has kind of an idea.
Something, yeah.
It has even a resolution.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one tries to kind of, but clearly they just ran out of time or effort or I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Again, but compared to the other ones I looked at, this one actually kind of made some narrative sense, where the other ones were literally just random footage. It was
I'm gonna
just
have to go down that well.
What am I even watching?
Just see what's in it.
There's another one, I don't remember what it's called, where it's literally just a woman is taken to the woods and then she's topless and she walks around in the woods with a gun killing people. It's called like Naked and Afraid. That's not what it is. It's something like that. I can't remember. That one looked like something else as well. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. As always, you can do us a giant favor by heading over to patreon.com/GBorBB. Support us there for a few bucks a month to get access to bonus content. I have a podcast called This Film Is Lit, where we talk about movies that are based on books. When this is out, the most recent episode will have been, I don't know. There Will Be Blood was 2 ago. I don't know what it'll say on the screen. You can do us a giant favor heading over to TeePublic and buying some merch. It looks like this and other things.
Very comfy.
I believe Wrath of the Viper Sniper may be out if you're seeing this. Well, it's already out on one streaming platform, and I will put that in here, but it's coming to Amazon at some point in the very near future. Once it's available on Amazon, we will be talking about it. We have a screener of it, but we're waiting until you all can watch it before we put the review out. It's going to be fun. It's a little short, too. It's just over an hour. So
nice.
It'll be a nice, quick one. Actually, it'll probably be really long because we'll be talking about lots of stuff. But yeah, that'll be hopefully in the next handful of episodes.
Miserable it can be to shoot in Arizona, which is hot as hell.
I sweat so much. But yeah, that's that. Check out twitch.tv/ our names on the screen. Occasionally streams.
I've been actually helping playtesting a game that's very EverQuesty.
Oh.
And it's Minecraft aesthetics, EverQuest interface.
It sounds like your dream game, Kyle.
It is
they made it just for you.
It's like they went into my brain. They're like, what are the things he likes? Minecraft, Legos, EverQuest.
Wow. This is pretty impressive. But yeah, you can go check out Twitch. And I believe that's it. Until next time, keep watching movies.
Just not Witch's Brew. Nah. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted, like, if you were that kind of person.
If you're like me, if you're fucking creepy.
Degenerate.